Good evening and welcome to the big story here on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. My name is Chika Agu, and thanks for joining us this evening as we continue our conversation into stories in the news. Let's get started with this. Governor Adeleke of Osun State suspended Justice Oyebola Ojo from office as the Chief Judge of the state following a recommendation by the State House of Assembly. This suspension is coming despite the order by the National Industrial Courts restraining the governor from removing the justice from office. In a statement last week, Olawale Rasheed, spokesperson to the governor, said Governor Adeleke approved the suspension of Ojo over the allegation of misconduct after the resolution of the State House of Assembly. Mr. Rashid also said the governor had approved the appointment of Justice David Afolabi as the new acting Chief Judge of the state. Meanwhile, David Afolabi, who was named the acting Chief Judge of Osun State by Governor Adeleke, we understand rejected the appointment, although no official confirmation was made from his office, according to a report by Premium Times newspaper. A fresh twist, however, emerged on the matter yesterday when the State Commissioner for Information and Public Enlightenment, Kolapo Alimi, said the governor has not appointed anyone as acting Chief Judge. However, rumor has it that Justice Ojo has been reinstated again as the Nigerian Bar Association and stakeholders in the judiciary have rejected Governor Adeleke's appointment. To get a sense of what exactly is the situation in Osun State and to understand how the judiciary in the country should react to this unfolding situation here, we're joined by Ali Tosin Smart, who is a lawyer, a writer and a public affairs analyst, and Bukbola Ademola, a Premium Times reporter. Ademola joins us right now, and eventually we hope to get Ali Tosin to join the conversation. Mr. Bukbola, I hope you can hear me.
Definitely I can. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Let's get started with what the latest is in Osun State right now as regards the office of the Chief Judge of the state. What do you know?
Okay, thanks for this. Just of recent now, I was on a call with the governor's spokesperson, that is Olawale Rashid. And Mr. Olawale Rashid told me that, okay, he actually questioned, have I seen her, the chief judge in her office today? And I was like, I am not in the position to say that actually. So as for now, if we are going to go per the word of Mr. Olawale, we can't say to be precise where the chief judge is. Maybe she has been reinstated or not. So that is what I would say to that. Thank you.
So, it's interesting that, this is the latest, that we don't know for sure where the chief judge is, right? So, take us back to the beginning. Where does this story start for anybody who is trying to follow what's happening in Osun State? Where does this story start?
Okay, thank you for the question. So, if I would say the story of the chief judge actually started even before this administration, and she was appointed by the former one of the former governor in Osun, so that is Aregbe, that is Mr. Rauf Aregbe, and immediate former Minister of Interior. So today what we see now is that she 2 days or 3 days ago, there are rumor. Yeah, let me just start with that. There are rumor 3 days ago that the governor has sacked the chief judge of the state, and this actually emanated a lot of agitations and critics from CSOs in the state and even individuals like how could this be? What is going on? Because everybody knows that such responsibility of disposing a judge resides on the NCJ. So, and after that, 2 days or 3 days later, just as at yesterday, we realized that she has been sacked. Okay, she was sacked, and everybody was like, okay, the whole news got that, and everywhere was filled with this, and a lot of criticism actually came out through that. And after that, the National Assembly released that, okay,
Or
the governor
the state
himself was not the
assembly.
one. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, the State Assembly. Thank you for that. Came out that, okay, the governor was not the one who sacked her. That it was through, okay, the National Assembly stuff. I mean, the State House of Assembly stuff, and they implemented this on their own. And we are to talk about this. Who is to recommend such disposal? That's the question everyone has been asking. Who should recommend such disposal? And what the state released concerning a disposal was that, okay, the state listed that, okay, no, not even a list. The news was what they released was that, okay, she had been sacked due to misconduct that was that are still into investigations.
Right.
Okay, if actually, okay, should I continue to talk?
Yeah, yeah, go on.
Okay, so if actually it is still an investigation and this misconduct, everyone wants to know, but the state did not release that until Monday today, after she was sacked. So today, the speaker, through his chief press secretary, that is Mr. Tiamiyu, released that they released the list of the misconduct. I don't know, should I further on
All
the
right.
list, or should I
Yeah,
just
I mean it's interesting. Of
okay?
course, we should know what the accusations are. Please go on.
Oh, okay. So thank you, the chief press secretary of the speaker, Olamide Tiamiyu, released today that, okay, there are first rather embezzlement of money that is in the tone of 5 million naira. And these embezzlements now, what they actually the allegation now is that, okay, there was a division of a robe allowance rather of another judge that was done by the chief judge. Part of it again is that there was a diversion of funds that are meant for I think, the development of the judiciary library. Actually, this apart from the 5 million naira that was for the robe allowance of another judge that was diverted. These are just like what, like let me quote now. These are still under investigation.
Right.
So we are just listing things that we are under investigations.
Okay, we'll come
And that
to
has been released to the public.
right. We'll come to
Okay,
that.
thank you.
We'll come to that in just a moment. But we're
Okay.
now joined by Alito Smart, who is a lawyer and a public affairs analyst for this conversation. Mr. Smart, thank you very much for joining us. I hope you can hear me.
Okay.
Of course, of course. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Thank you very much for joining us this
All
evening.
right.
I want to start by getting your reaction to the situation in Osun State. So the State House of Assembly recommended the suspension of the Chief Judge of the state to the governor, and the governor acted on that recommendation. What do you make of it?
I'm not actually surprised because that would not be the first time things like that will be happening in Nigeria. We saw what happened during the case of during the time of President Buhari. I think in 2019, just some few weeks to the presidential election, and the Chief Justice of Nigeria was suspended. Right. So then the same thing happened in River State. So this thing has become a pattern. So it's no longer new in Nigeria. So what I think about the whole thing is that, politicians, they're always, wanting to use mischiefs just to derive a point or to score a cheap political point. So because to the best of my knowledge, the constitution states the procedure that should be followed if you want to remove the chief judge of a state. It's stated there. The provisions are there. So And the constitution does not even use the word suspension or step. There's nothing like suspension in the constitution. Nothing like suspending the judiciary. It's either you appoint or you remove. So there's nothing like suspending. So it was a coinage of the political class. If they want to exercise power, or maybe maybe in a situation where they just don't like the face of the chief judge, they can just come up with one allegation, then they will do what they want to do, and they will hide under loopholes, and they will go scot-free. So the precedent has been set in the past, and it will continue to happen unless something is done about it. Right? So in the case of Osun State, now look at it. It was this morning that the governor released a statement that it wasn't suspension again. It was step aside. Step aside for what? So before you would even make any attempt at removing the chief judge of the state, there must be an address. There must be an address stating the offenses or stating the misconduct of the chief judge. Okay, then it must be supported by two-thirds majority of the House of Assembly. That is what the Constitution states under section 292. So, but in this case now, we only heard last week that the governor of the state has suspended the chief judge of Osun State. No reason was given. And the following day, we heard that the governor instructed that the most senior judge should be sworn in as the active chief judge. It doesn't work that way. Nigeria has been a lawless country for a very long time, and things are actually getting out of hand. We need to do something about it. It was this morning, it was today, they just released a statement that the CJ that was suspended, she was culpable of some misconduct. She embezzled money. She did this. That should come first.
Because just moments. Sorry to interrupt, but just moments before you joined, and that was the conversation we're just having with the journalist who's also on this conversation, Popola Demola, and he said that he then ruled out the accusations leveled against the chief judge of the state. And that then brings me to to the next question I want to ask you, because in the end, whether we're finding out about these allegations now, or if it should have come before now, there is an allegation, right? And that she must answer to if we're upholding the tenets of the law. So when a judge or when a chief judge, when someone of that standing is accused of this sort of wrongdoings, what is the typical procedure? What does the Constitution say about investigating that case? On whose shoulder does investigation fall? On whose shoulder does discipline fall?
Yeah, good. When we talk about when we talk about accusation, anybody can accuse anyone of anything. So allegation or accusation is not enough to remove someone from such a sensitive position. It must be proved. It must be proved. So all cases, all allegations, all accusations must be proved, because anybody can just come from nowhere and lay accusation against someone, and in the end they will discover that it was false in the first place. It was mischievous. So to the best of my knowledge, I think it is the power of the National Judicial Council to handle such case. They are responsible constitutionally. They are responsible for disciplining judges. So if in such case that the chief judge was immersed in any culpable offenses or misconduct, then they should have written to the National Judicial Council. They will look into it. So to investigate if that actually happened or it never. So that should be the right procedure. So, but I just don't understand why the political class, politicians with their selfish interests, they will just want to do anything they feel like, because they know they will go scot-free. Nothing will happen afterwards. So now, the National Judicial Council should be the one to investigate it. So when the National Judicial Council investigates it, and in the end they discover that okay, this person was actually culpable of all the misconduct, of all the offences, fine, they can get back to the governor. Then the governor will seek the consent of the two-third majority of the State House of Assembly. Then they can remove him or her. That is what the Constitution says under Section 292 sub 1. Section 292 sub 1 states that the head of all state courts, I'm talking of the Chief Judge of the State, President of the State Customary Court of Appeal, Chief Judge of, Chief Kadi or Grand Kadi of Sharia Court of Appeal, if they want to be removed, the governor has the power to remove them, acting on an address supported by two-third majority.
Right.
But in the case of allegation, the National Judicial Council should investigate. They have the power to discipline, to investigate. Because anybody can come up with allegation. As you are now, I can come up with an allegation and go on social media to blackmail you. Meanwhile, it never happened. It can happen. So if people use that to judge you, what would you feel like?
Right.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense. Let's come back to Mr. Bukola Ademola now, because now we know what the accusations are against the what the accusations against the Chief Justice or the Chief Judge of the state are. Is there an official response? Has there been a statement from her office, the Ministry of Justice in the states or its equivalent? Has anybody who happens to be in the capacity to respond to this ongoing investigation issued a statement on her behalf?
Okay, thank you for this. I wanted to add something. But thank you. The lawyer has spoken well. Yeah, the lawyer has spoken well. I got the whole point of the allegation. I wanted to cut him in the other time and asked, because the allegation was not only on money, diversion of money, and added to these allegations are there was diversion of proceeds that was pertaining to a recovery of armed ammunition from armed robbers, rather. At Kirun, there was a robbery some times ago. So, like the allegation said, she diverted the proceeds of these court proceedings, and everything just went like that. That was part of the allegation. So I was like, okay, is this even still enough? Like I want to really know, is this still really enough to suspend her? But I think he has spoken well on that they are all still allegations, and thank you for that, sir. So concerning the questions, there is no official release yet until the protest that was staged today by some lawyers and the NBA at the State High Court today. And okay.
Oh, there was a protest. Okay.
Yeah, there was a protest.
Yes,
this morning.
Tell us about that protest.
So the protest was organized by the Osun State chapter of the NBA, and the protests on the placard were like, we were written something like, okay, we don't want a misconduct in our affair. We don't want, we are meant to be treated well. Like, this is just a demonstration of what they say they are going through under the administration of the chief judge. So, and I mean, that is what they are demonstrating. Yeah, that is what they are demonstrating. So, and subsequently, the speaker, I mean, Egbedun, that is the Honorable Speaker, Adewale Egbedun, released through his chief press secretary, Olamide Tiamiyu, that these are the allegations. That is, we have to now connect what happened in the morning, the protest in the morning, with the allegation, with the release rather. So this is all we have now. We don't have any other thing from the from the chapter now. We don't have any other thing in the state.
Right. I mean, it's interesting that we're seeing lawyers protests now.
Mm.
To sort of come back to you, Mr. Smarts, what do actions of politicians like this do to lawyers like you and the judiciary at large?
Well, we can all see, we all know what is happening on social media these days. An average Nigerian does not respect the judiciary any longer. An average Nigerian does not believe in justice any longer because they believe the judiciary is now against common men. Because of what has happened in the parliament, what has been happening repeatedly, courts giving inconsistent orders, different orders, kangaroo orders from, around, and these things are being initiated by politicians. Now, let me give you an example of what we call court abuse of court process. For instance, now, an intra-party issue happens. An intra-party crisis happens. Some people, they rush to federal high court to file a case. The same people rush to state high court to file a case. This like bordering on the same thing. So at the end of the day, the two courts, even though they are court of coordinate jurisdiction, they will give conflicting orders, and the media will report it. So as a result of that, people are gradually losing interest. They are gradually losing trust for judiciary. They don't respect lawyers again. Go to Twitter, go and sample people's opinion. Ask them what they think about lawyers, what they think about judiciary, what they think about judges. You will see bit like acrimonious opinions about judiciary, and these things are being caused by politicians because of what they do. Because in Nigeria we don't operate politics or principles. People don't have they don't have ideologies. Politicians don't have ideologies here. They do everything based on personal interest. So if the chief judge, if the state governor doesn't like the face of the chief judge, he can remove it, or he can remove him. All he needs to do is to get the support of the House of Assembly, in which most of the members, they will belong in the same party with the governor. So that will be so easy. We've seen that happen in Rivers State. That for some months, all judicial activities were granted in Rivers State because there was a rift between Governor Amechi, and the National Judicial Council. He wanted to impose someone as a chief judge, and National Judicial Council was like, no, this cannot happen. It will not happen. It's unconstitutional. And things were granted. All courts were closed. Because of what? Because of the personal interest of someone. It doesn't work. It shouldn't work that way. I think we need new constitutions. We have to sit down again. We don't even need to sit down. In 2014, a confab was held, and there was a unanimous, a unanimous decision it was done by the subsequent government. So this thing, we can revisit these things. We need new constitution. Let's iron all these issues that are happening, all these social political issues. Let's iron everything. Let's let the country deal with modern reality. This is no longer 1999. This is 2003 and 2023. Things have changed. A lot of changes have happened. So let's enact a new constitution that would reflect our new reality. So that is the only answer. That is the only answer to all these crises.
Right.
Because
So quickly, in addition to the reactions from the NBA, I think on Friday the NBA also reacted. I think they came out point blank that the state actors cannot really remove the judge just like that. They came out and they spoke about that the state, that's not the legal process to do that. And yes, that was their reaction to that. And they said that the new acting chief judge is not welcome. That is what they say. It is not welcome. So
right.
Thank you. That is what I will add to that.
Yeah, thanks for adding that additional information, Popola. And so with the allegations against her now made public, and we don't, we started off us. You started off telling us, that no one can tell for sure, if she was in the office today or not. There's no official confirmation, so we can't tell if she's back. Um, do we know if is there a timeline for this investigation? Is the State House of Assembly saying, this is when we can expect to see a final decision on this matter? What's next? What can we expect going forward?
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Ademola, are you there? Hello, Mr. Ademola, are you there? Hello? Okay, not quite sure that we still have Ademola Popola with us on this conversation, but hopefully when he does come back, we can pick up from where we've left off. Just to wrap things up right now, I'm just going to come back to you, Mr. Smart. A lot of Nigerians are, watching what's happening in Osun State. In many ways, they've seen the script play out before, right? And now it is happening again. If anyone's saying, look, this whole thing has me worried, right? And rightly so, they should be worried. What would your response be to, how they feel about what's happening with the Chief Judge of Osun State?
Well, like Mr. Popola said, he said a group of lawyers, they stormed the street, they were protesting. Fine, I think that is the right step in the right direction. People can't, politicians can't be doing whatever they like and they will be going scot-free. It shouldn't work that way. Look at how former CJ head, his lordship Onogen, look at how he was removed from office because of the interest of some few political people. Politicians. They just decided to do whatever they like, and they've already established a precedent, and it will continue this way. And that is the truth. Mark my word, it will continue this way. Tomorrow, if a state governor does not like the face of the CJ, it will still happen. It will continue to happen unless there's a redress. Now, this is it. Pending when there will be reform, maybe through a legal reform. I think what we should do now is advocacy. So what is it all about? It's simple. If a state governor illegally removes the chief judge, fine. The constitution says the most senior judge should be appointed as the acting CJ for 3 months. Fine. The most senior judge should reject. Okay, I'm not taking this position. The next one everyone should reject. If everyone reject, they will stop it. They will stop it.
Well,
because yes, I'm listening to you.
No, go on, finish up.
So fine. So if everyone rejects, right, they won't try it again. Because fine, if they remove the CJ illegally, and the next judge is sworn in as the acting CJ, right? If the person refuses that, I don't want to be sworn in, this is illegal, they will not try it again. They pick the next person. The next person says, I'm not doing this. They will stop eventually. So I think that is for now. That is the pending when there will be legal reform or legal redress. Right. I think that is the only way to go about it.
And that does make a lot of sense. Look, Ali Smart, thank you very much for your time and your insights this evening. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And to Popola Ademola, thank you very much also for your time this evening. Unfortunately, the network wouldn't let us continue with you, but thank you very much for your time, and your efforts in laying out the issues in Osun State with us. Alitosun Smart is a lawyer, a writer, and a public affairs analyst, and Popola Ademola is a Premium Times journalist based in Osun State, joining us to discuss the sacking of the Chief Judge of Osun State by Governor Ademola Adeleke on the recommendations of the State House of Assembly. Let's move over to the round table now. But at the round table, we're going to have a conversation that is centered on Lagos. Have you seen the awards for October 2023 by the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency? Have you seen the budget performance report for Q3 2023? Let's talk about that at the roundtable. So stay with me. Good evening.
Stay tuned to your Beyond the News station daily for our up-to-the-minute compact news bulletins from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., bringing you a wide range of local and international news from our news desk. Stay informed, stay updated on Radio Now 95.3 FM.
Please, officer, now. I know to make money today. I beg now. Hey!
Today is the day you are going to pay for all your sins.
Something exciting out of the stables of Sanitary Pad Media Campaign.
Not me. I know well, wallahi. Since yesterday. My stomach, I dey pain now. I no sleep.
Yeah.
A radio drama soap, My Period, My Pride.
This woman, come on for road. You know they look your back. Come on for road, this woman, huh? Come on for road.
My Period, My Pride, an advocacy tool for the provision of free sanitary pads for schoolgirls in Nigeria, powered by Sanitary Pad Media Campaign with support from MacArthur Foundation and Radio Now 95.3 FM.
My Period, My Pride, Season 1, The Story of Ife.
Every Saturday at 10 a.m.
To Financial Services Regulation and Coordinating Committee FSRCC tinyere National Broadcasting Commission NBC Johera Adohun Boda Kanante banyere ndị na-atụ mgbere ego iwu akwadoghị bụ Illegal Financial Operators IFO nke na-eme ka ndị mmadụ ghara inwekwa ntụkwasị obi ọzọ tinyere na ngalaba na-ahụ maka ego na Nigeria enweghị nkwudosi ike. Ha jizi ohere agwa ndị ọha obodo ka ha kwụsị ịtụnyere ndị na-atụ mgbere ego enweghị akwụkwọ ikike. Ị nwekwara ike ime nchọpụta banyere akwụkwọ ikike ụlọ ọrụ dị otu a site n'akara webụsaịtị ndị a www.cbn.gov.ng, www.nicom.gov.ng, www.pencom.gov.ng, www.sec.gov.ng. maka inye mkpesa banyere gburugburu ego n'ụdị ọbụla kpọọ 07002255226, 08002255226 maọbụ +234-817-665-6273. ozi a si n'aka FSRCC.
The issues are all around us, but who talks about them? Law enforcement breaking the law, property owners ripping off tenants, political office holders taking the electorate for granted, or is it the plague of recurring bad policies made by the government? These are the issues. Let's talk about these and more at the round table. Stay locked on to Radio Now 95.3 FM every weekday as we discuss these hot topics around us on The Round Table on Now Express. The Round Table, weekdays 5:30 p.m.
Good evening and welcome to the Roundtable here on Radio Now 95.3 FM Lagos. My name is Chika Ago. Let's talk about this letter of award registered for October 2023, released by the Lagos State Public Procurement Agency. There have been so many reactions to just how the government seems to be spending money. People are surprised. Why is the government spending money this way? Does this reflect the current state of the economy? Does this reflect the things that we hear about the finances of the government? The government is quick to remind us that look, we don't have money. We don't have money. We can't do this. We can't do that. We wish we could do more than we have done, but this is the best that we can do. And I wonder if that's reflected in how the states really spends on certain things, especially the ones that actually concern the office of the governor or the office of the deputy governor, the ones that concern administration. There seem to be top heavy spending, and it's not that way with low level spendings. And sometimes there's just this there's just this, vagueness with how it is being reported. So, for instance, when you take a look at line item number 90 in the October awards letter, line number 90 is the agency here, that the MDA that received this money is the Lands Bureau Agency, right? It just says Lands Bureau here. The item that this money was spent on is procurement of computer systems. This contract was awarded at a sum of 17.5 million naira to Kingston Technologies. Now, this is a very vague, it's a very vague itemization of what money was spent on. How many computers did you buy for 17 million naira? It's just a procurement of computer systems. We don't know what the number of computer systems, that was actually purchased here. And so it is things like this that has Nigerians, sort of, I would say, uncomfortable with how the government is spending money, and the reaction itself has been significant, right? I want to get your thoughts on this. What do you want to do now that you've seen all of this, right? Now that you've seen all of this, what do you want to do? What do you think that as a stakeholder, it is in your responsibility to do, to make the state government a lot more accountable to you on how it spends money, right? It will be interesting to know. 0913 5000 953 and 0901 1111 953. If you want to share your thoughts with us on this conversation this evening, as a stakeholder here in Lagos, what do you think that you can do to make the government a little more accountable than they are? Kenny is in Surulere calling in. Hi, Kenny. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing, man?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Mother.
I'm so sorry. By the way, if you don't understand what he says, he was just asking me in Igbo if I ask after people. Kenny, I'm sorry. I should have. Yeah, I apologize. My bad.
I apologize.
All right, let's go on.
Yeah, my brother. See, as it stands now, there's nothing we can do in this country because our politicians, they have captured the state. They have balkanized the state. They have impoverished the state. That the few ones that are supposed to say one or two things, they have been bought over. They have impoverished them. That whenever they flash few naira on their face, they forget what they are supposed to do. That is what is happening. If you go to our agencies, federal agencies, ministries and what have you, I was the one listening. Common cartridge for printer. I heard the price. Cartridge, what they put in their is either to change something, is the LPU and what was the name. I was just looking at Jesus. The guy that was supplying himself, oh God, we are finished in this country. Very people are eating up the money. Even the governor or a commissioner or minister that wants to do the right thing, you see a palm stake that say this is not how we do it, this is how we do it. They will not teach that technocrat on how to go about the whole thing. They will not start padding. Look at Lagos State, this thing. What they are having. You understand? It's mind-boggling. We need to be crying. Air freshener and fan. What is it? I don't understand. Glopping up almost 5 billion naira. Fan. The other one, they say they are sharing chicken in all ministry and what have you. I don't understand. You can imagine chief of staff buying 440 million naira bulletproof to go where? Who wants to kill him? So these are the things that we see, that people are crying, the masses are crying, these guys are living in affluence. You can imagine when they state, they're using state money, taxpayers' money, to pay for election tribunal, whatever. You can imagine. That is why they tell you go to court, because they know they are not even the ones enacting it. They are going to use your money to pay for all those things. You see somebody hiring 100 stands everywhere because the money is not coming from him. The states are going to do it. The National Assembly, the state assemblies, they are just rubber stamp, as the name implies. Even many times they try to defend themselves, but they are still what they are. You can imagine where state assembly, they have oversight function. They cannot detect, even when they detect, they even collect their own percentage. You understand me? They help them to pass all these things. So we are not moving in the right trajectory. We are not moving from what we are saying. These people, they are just there to collapse the system, collapse the country, and they don't mind to go and borrow more and squander.
Kenny,
it has been in their DNA.
Kenny, thank you very much for your thoughts.
I just pray we survive it.
Well, hopefully we do survive it. Kenny, thank you very much for your thoughts this evening. There are so many there's so many spendings, in this document here that has, negotiations wondering why exactly is this a thing that, taxpayers' money should be spent for, right? There's just way too many issues here. For instance, I'm just going to need a second to pull out one of the spendings, but hold on, let's take this call. We have Ambassador Musbao on the line. Hello, Ambassador Musbao. Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing? 3 times, my brother.
You know what to tell me now?
What does that mean?
You know what to tell me now, Chika?
I don't know what to tell you. What do I?
I'm going to find you.
Ambassador Musbao, I can't. Ambassador Musbao,
Hello,
hold on.
can you hear me?
Okay, yes.
I told you, Chika, I'm going to sue you to court. So you don't know today is my day. You can't
Look, Ambassador Musbao, I forgot. I'm so sorry. Look, so we also celebrated my producer's birthday today, so it has that's occupied my mind. I am so sorry. Ambassador Musbao, you're gonna have to call me back up because this line is not working at all. Try using the other line, please, Ambassador.
Okay, let me see what I can do.
All right, try using the other line. Okay, so let's look back in June, right? A contract was awarded at the sum of 440,750,000 naira for the procurement of a brand new Lexus 600 LX bulletproof sports utility vehicle for use in the pool of office of Chief of Staff. Is there any justification to buy the Chief of Staff to the Governor of Lagos State a bulletproof vehicle? I don't know. If you have any, has there been an attempt on the life of the Chief of Staff of Lagos State? Has there been any recorded attempts in the last 10-15 years on the life of the Chief of Staff that would justify the Lagos State government using 440 million naira to purchase a bulletproof car for that office? I recognize that it's not for his personal use and it's for the office, but even then, it seems like a rather excessive purchase. And if you want to speak to this, I'd love to hear from you, okay? 0913 5,953. Am I thinking of this the wrong way? Because in my mind, right? In my mind, I think that Lagos is perhaps one of the few places in the country where the people who work closest to the governor should drive themselves to work. It is actually that safe. It is actually that safe. It is one of the, I would prefer to see the Lagos State, the Chief of Staff to the governor, in some cases use public transport to work to demonstrate, the level of safety that exists here in Lagos. We understand it's not perfect. We're trying to make it better, but this looks like... Yeah, Ambassador, good evening.
Yeah, so I don't know.
It's better now. Well, sorry, but yes, from all of us here at Radio Now, we wish you a happy birthday, long life and prosperity.
Thank you very much, and happy birthday to your producer too.
Thank you.
Yeah. So the kicker, it's like what is shit. Most of we that call, ask questions. What can we do to challenge the governor?
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of we that call, we need to go back and check us back in our home. We can only have voice on radio. Even in our house, when a tenant like us just shot, we just go back to under our bed and talk and sleep and hide. But come on radio, you feel like they are super champion, include everybody. Look, until we start doing this in our community, so who cannot challenge the co-tenant who is misbehaving, go challenge his governor. That is shit. Honestly, we put our comments in action.
I'm okay, Ambassador Musba. What? Hold on. You. Are you pleased with how the Lagos State government is spending money? Spending your money as a taxpayer?
Yes. I'm not satisfied. I'm not in the government.
I'm asking you as a citizen. You can't. You should. No, but you should. You should be able to personalize it.
I'm not concerned with spending money. I'm not concerned. And it should be my business how to spend the taxpayers' money. And if we can go, like I told you, I'm coming to something. We start from the local government chairman. How my local government chairman is spending my money, it should be my business. It should be our business. Okay? How the government spend our money should be my business and should be our business. But before I come out to challenge, I have to do what?
Ambassador Musba, I'm sorry, I don't agree with your train of thought. Or maybe it's because maybe it's because I can't seem to understand you clearly.
I'm telling you that
okay.
It should be my business where they spend our money.
Yes,
but
I agree.
I cannot go and do finding. I have to go and do finding myself. It's my duty to go and be my local government chairman to tell me how many projects have you done this year. How much you spend on each project? It is my duty.
No, Ambassador Musba, but here's the thing, right? Hear me out. It doesn't even matter who you're speaking to. And because to be honest, right, there's nothing you as a citizen can do about the governor. You can't do jack about the governor. You know who can? Your representatives at the State House of Assembly. You cannot impeach Sanwo-Olu, but they can. So, but here's what I'm asking you, right? But even with your local government chairman, you can sue them to court because they are not covered by immunity.
What am I going to say to the assembly member?
So my question.
If I don't have the fact, I can't challenge them.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's what we're saying now. And the Lagos State government, right? The Lagos State government, they themselves, they released. You can find this at the Lagos State website, lagosppa.gov.ng. It's on their website. You will find this document there. The question that I'm asking is, when you look at this document and you see how they're spending, you see some of the vague, expenditure here. Does it worry you enough to want to take action?
It should be worrying me. It is my state. As it worries me, I'm a negotiator. It's all over the state. It should be a worry. We can look at the findings there. Take this the National State Assembly to make a inquiry. Yes, if you cannot defend it, they can put on a fight. That is this. It's collective effort. Then I'm telling you that a stop is shit. Shit, are you with me?
I am with you.
So, then I'm telling you, stop is shit. In our community, we can get ourselves. Let's say we 50, speak in one voice. You can challenge our representatives. Look, and the way they spend money, let us challenge it. But those who cannot come out, don't want you to talk, always talk. They can't come out. What do you expect? They have free days. Until we are ready.
All right.
To match our war with action. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay, Ambassador Musba, appreciate. Emmanuel is calling in from Aja. Good evening, Emmanuel. How are you?
Chika, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome. Let's hear your thoughts, please.
Chika, good evening.
I can hear you, Emmanuel. Good evening.
Yeah, Chika, I'm proud to be a man. Yes, I want to say happy Man's Day to all the men out there.
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
are a lovely father, taking care of your family, and I'm one of them. God bless the man in Nigeria, in the world in general. Thank you, Shisha.
All right, thank you too, and happy International Men's Day to you.
And you too.
All right. Hey man, that was all you wanted to say. No way, Emmanuel. No way. 0913 5000 953 and 0901 1111953. Let's get your thoughts on how the government has been spending money so far, and if you're incensed enough to want to take action. And if you do want to take action, what sort of action do you want to take? Again, it's important that we sort of have these conversations, because in the end, right, how they spend affects our quality of life. Obi is calling in from Ikeja. Good evening, Obi. How are you?
Chika, how are you today, Chika, my brother?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, my brother?
Chika, I'm okay.
Well
Chika,
yes.
I don't want to waste my time on this topic, but did you know my only worry? Nigerians, instead of blaming the government for the misuse of our commonwealth, they are rather blaming Dorothy. What's that man's name that revealed all this? What's his name?
Doherty, Funsho Doherty.
Yes, that is my worry. I don't know Nigerians. I'm confused. Somebody is bringing out information that will better our life for our own use. People are busy blaming the man. What is wrong with us, Chika? Chika, please, I want to ask you, please define Nigeria for me. Please, if Nigeria is a case study, I've never seen such a thing in my life, where Nigerians will be supporting those that are oppressing them. I've never seen a thing like this, Chika. Bye-bye and good night, Chika.
Thank you very much, Obi. Bye-bye. Good evening, Kenny.
Yeah, my brother. Chika, this thing we are saying is not only in Lagos State, too. Across all states. You have Zamfara governor. Zamfara governor. You hear what he said about Matawali? What they did. When these people they are going, even after looting all lootables, they will not carry everything. Pack table, pack chair, pack everything. What kind of greediness as in greedy men do we have in this our crime? They pack chair, pack table, pack motor, pack tire, pack eraser, pack. Hey, Jesus! When you see that man, many times I look at our politicians. That whenever somebody is being appointed, you can imagine where their family will go for Thanksgiving. That this person has appointed, this person has been elected, because they know that it has become food for all. Whack. Don't say. The family has been uplifted from poverty level to, you understand what I mean? Why are they going for Thanksgiving? Because you are appointed. The whole family, when you now come to that person's house, you see everywhere, everybody wants to bring opinion. They are come to Fuji House of Commotion. They are eating and drinking, and these people, their taxpayers' money, they are using to squander. The family, the governor become emperor. Look at what's it called? This state governor, Yaya Bello. The new governor-elect. You saw what happened. That the video was trending. He went and knelt down. Are we conquered states? Are we conquered states? How can few individuals hold the country ransom? You win election, somebody installed, you went and kneeled down. You are paying. Look at him, River State. Look at what is happening there. Look at what is happening there. Is that not extension of thought 10 deep? You put your voice there. You understand? They are answering to you. All the atrocities that the government has committed, you understand? The other person, instead of him to expose you, still pass that one. Pass that misappropriation of funds and what have you. I don't know. I just don't know where we are going to. And these people, when you look at them, they're even putting their children. They're putting their children in line of that business. Look at the state assembly. Their children are there. Is that not state capture? They have captured the state. Their children, they are one committee chairman or the other, in one district or the other. One committee chairman in the House of Rep, State House of Rep, Federal House of Rep. Senators, many of their children are there. They are one chairman of one juicy position, juicy committee or the other. It will be going from generation to generation. You cannot talk. When you talk, they use their watchdog and pursue you up and down, even pursue you out of the country. You understand? So I just don't know how we are going to come out of this quagmire. To me, I don't. It's not that God come down, though.
Kenny,
God did not come down. We cannot come out of this.
Kenny, leave God where he is. He's not a taxpayer in Lagos. Leave God where he is. Ibeto, good evening. How are you?
I'm good, Chika. Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the round table. Please go on.
Oh, thank you, Chika. Chika, we keep some of us keep putting the blame on us, okay? But sometimes, what can a common man do? Now, where my question is going to is this. We used to have some number of activists. Today, where are they? My question is this. Where have the soldiers gone? Where have the voices of the people gone? You see, it's like they have all gone to stupor. They are all sleeping. Because it takes the activists to come out, yes, boldly. Then people will stand behind him to push forward. But where have they all gone to? The only person I seemingly hear his name who comes sometimes on radio to talk is Liberal Shoma. That's the only one I think I can count on today. So where are the rest? So if you're expecting the people, the civilians, to rise up and start doing something, my brother, where do you start from? And many of us don't even know some of those things because it takes only most of the activists to know the reality of what you want to ask for. So what are we doing? Where have they gone to? Where are they? So if some of them could come out and start speaking, I think their voice, because I believe that government respect their voices, the politicians respect their voices, the civilians too respect their voices. So I'm calling out on all of them to please, wherever they are. We don't like what is happening. It's not that they should challenge the government to stop. No, that is not what I'm saying. But let them speak out. Let that be a voice. Or they are the voice of the mass.
All right.
I wonder where we'll go. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you very much. Isiaka, thanks for holding. Good evening.
Chika, good evening.
Please go on.
Chika, do we really want this nation to be like other nations? Chika, do we want this nation to move like other civilized nations? Chika, let's go back to Osun A4.
Why?
If Nigeria at the age,
Isiaka, please. I'm ready to go home.
I keep asking God, why did He make me to be in Nigeria?
So
at the age of 47 years,
Isiaka,
I keep asking God.
Isiaka, there's this thing that Christians say, right? That God will not give His soldiers battles that are stronger than them. You got this, is what I'm saying. You are here to make a difference.
Chika, let's go back to culture. It's not for you that I don't have enough credit, Chika. You see this nation, if we don't go back to culture A4, this nation, do you know what's going on in Lagos State? The evil judiciary that is going on in Lagos State, the way the Lagos State government is demolishing people's house, the way one person can instead a godfather will impose a governor. You will buy a form for going office for 100 million. Chika, good night.
Isiaka, thank you very much. I think that, there is something we can do. The question is, when does the lamenting end and when does action kick in? It's something you have to, chew on and ask yourself that. Otherwise, I tell you what, if there's one thing that being a Nigerian has taught me, it is that you will never run out of things to be mad about. You will never run out of things to be mad about. So what do you do then? The news at 6 is up next. My name is Chika Ago. Thank you very much for being a part of the conversation this evening. Have a good night.
Stay tuned to your Beyond the News station daily for our up-to-the-minute compact news bulletins from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m., 4 p.m. and 6 p.m., bringing you a wide range of local and international news from our news desk. Stay informed, stay updated on Radio Now 95.3 FM.
Across Nigeria, Africa, and the world, this is Radio Now News.